Track 7.
Part A. Joan Howard is a director at Howard and Skinner. She has worked with some major clients during her career. She's currently working at the organisation's New York office. So, Joan, what are the different roles in a big agency like yours?
Well, there's the creative side. This includes copywriters, the people who come up with the ideas and write the ads and slogans. The art directors work alongside them to create the advertisement. Then there are the people who buy the media. And finally, the account managers like me. We plan the campaigns with the client and make sure that everything goes smoothly.
This sounds interesting, but isn't it very stressful too?
Absolutely. There's a lot of pressure.
Have you had any difficult moments?
Actually, I'm trying to sort out a problem right now. We've booked studio time to record a radio spot, but the actress we'd picked to do the voiceover called a couple of hours ago to say she couldn't come. So we've been looking for a replacement. We've been playing new voices down the phone to the client all morning.
They must be pleased.
Track 8.
Part B. Tell me, how scientific is advertising and how much is based on instinct?
I'd say it's a mixture of both. When we start, we need to know exactly what segment of the market the client wants to aim for, because that will shape the advertising. For instance, the type of person we might choose to endorse a product has to appeal to that segment.
I see.
It'll also determine which media we select. Take an airline with an upmarket image which wants to target AB business travellers. Well, we know the kind of magazines those customers are likely to read and what sort of programmes they watch.
I see. That's the scientific bit. And what about the ads themselves?
Well, clearly the ads and the messages they put across have to be tailored to appeal to your target audience. But the angle, the genius, if you like, behind the ad is what the creative side of the agency is all about.
Track 9.
How do you know whether the ad has actually reached the people you were aiming at?
Through tracking studies. That's where you ask a sample of people if they've seen an ad or read a commercial, and if so, how many times.
And following on from that, how can you prove to a client that your campaign has been successful?
Obviously, the long-term aim of any campaign is to sell more of a particular product or service. But this doesn't mean people are going to immediately travel on an airline because they've seen an ad a couple of times.
So how can you show the client that a campaign has worked then?
Through before and after studies. You interview, say, a group of business travellers before the advertising campaign. Afterwards, you repeat the procedure and hopefully discover that they have been favourably influenced by the ads they've seen. If their attitudes have changed, this could determine their choice of airline in the future.
Track 10.
Like many people, I regularly buy things online, mostly books, music and airline tickets. Many online retailers offer good rates or discounts. Occasionally, I also buy things on internet auction sites, such as eBay, where people sell things to the highest bidder. There are 4 main steps to buying online. First, you enter a site dedicated to e-commerce and browse their products. Then, you put the items you want to buy into a virtual shopping cart, a program that lets you select the products and buy with a credit card. Thirdly, you enter your personal data. You may have to log in with a username and a password if you have an account with the site. And finally, you confirm the order and log out. But before buying things online, you should take a few basic precautions. Read all the product information clearly. Check whether you are entitled to cancel the purchase. always keep a printout of your order. Don't give any private information that is not directly required for your transaction. For example, about your shopping habits. Only give your credit card number to suppliers that you know and trust, and make sure their website is secure.
Extract 2. Online banking is the term used for performing transactions and payments through a bank's website. The greatest advantage of online banking is obviously convenience. I can access my account, check balances, pay bills, and transfer funds at any time and to anywhere. But the big issue with online banking is, of course, security and cybercrime. Most banks use various layers of authentication to prevent fraud. They give you a PIN with a username and a password, and for some transactions, you'll be required to use a TAN, a Transaction Authorization Number. Nevertheless, there are some basic precautions you should take. Never give your PIN to anyone, and don't even write it down. Be aware of phishing. You may receive fake emails claiming to be from your bank and asking for personal information or account details in an attempt to steal your identity. Don't provide any sensitive information unless you're sure it's your bank that is requesting it. Finally, don't forget to invest in some good anti-spy software.
Track 11.
Cheyenne, can you explain how a customer completes an online transaction?
Okay, it's very easy. First, the customer will place an order. The seller's web server will confirm availability of the product and send a response. After that, the customer checks out and completes the payment instructions. Then the server will send a payment request to a payment gateway. The payment gateway will check the buyer's ability to pay with the bank. Okay?
Fine, go on.
The bank will respond and send payment acceptance or rejection to the seller's web server through the payment gateway. Finally, the customer will receive the server response with the order confirmation or rejection.
Will the customer have to register?
Yes, all buyers must have their accounts before they complete the transaction.
Thank you. Now I understand.
Track 12.
And how are your sales team connecting to the internet nowadays when they're visiting clients?
They just log in the normal way. They have dongles that plug into their laptops. With those, they can send data through the mobile phone system. Or they can use a wireless connection.
That doesn't sound very secure.
What do you mean? They all have passwords.
Well, after the data leaves the computer, there are many ways for people to read it if they try hard enough.
Yeah, but that's not very common, is it?
Actually, you'd be surprised. It's happened to many of my clients.
Oh dear. What can we do?
Well, what I recommend is a VPN, a virtual private network, which is a very secure system that's easy to use. Your team will be able to log in from anywhere.
Sounds great. Is it difficult to use?
Not at all. Your sales team will log in as normal. They can use the same dongle or Wi-Fi networks as now. The system will encrypt your data. In other words, it will change your data so that no one else can read it. Only your company's computers. Even the government won't be able to read it. You don't have to worry about security at all.
What would my advice be to people to remain secure online? Make sure you are using antivirus software and you download any updates to keep out the latest viruses and worms. Use a personal firewall. Never respond to emails that look like they are from the bank. You know, phishing. This type of activity is becoming ever more sophisticated. Spear phishing is far more targeted. Not just the blanket spam of a few years ago. These emails look like they really are meant for you, as they are relevant to your business area. The email will contain something that looks like an attachment, but actually, it's a piece of malware like a Trojan or a worm. This software will sit on a computer and send the black hat hacker personal information, passwords, credit card numbers, bank account details. These then allow them to hack into the bank's data center and steal thousands of people's account numbers and sell them to other gangs.